Now we're going to look at parachutes, the care of them and the checking of them. The parachute is a piece of personal safety equipment and it's also expensive, so you can expect to get no change from about £2,000 sterling for a new parachute. The parachutes are routinely repacked, and the frequency of repacking rather depends on the manufacturer's recommendations and also the policies of the gliding club that you operate from. But very typically they're repacked every year. The important thing with a parachute is to keep it dry. So they're stored in a special cupboard normally, or a special room which has got very gentle background heating to keep the humidity down and ensure that the parachute doesn't get damp. When you check the parachute, one of the things to look for is the record card or a date mark on it somewhere which will tell you when it is due to be repacked. Hi, now we're just going to take a look at the parachute and make sure it's fit for purpose. So this is basically a daily inspection of the parachute. We'll take the parachute out of its bag, and the bag is there to protect the parachute from dust and getting snagged on things. The parachute itself, we've got some links on the back. So if I open this one up, this is a Mars, and you can see the end of the ripcord. There's a cable here with two pins. The two pins need to be in position and straight, so if they're bent, the parachute is unserviceable. Also, as you can see on this one, there's often a little telltale tag showing so it's a fine thread which will break if you use the parachute, but of course then you'll know the parachute has been deployed or partially deployed because of the thread is broken. If the thread is broken, the parachute is no longer serviceable. You need to get it checked. So we can close this up, put the back down, and then turn the parachute around. On the front of the parachute, we've got the harness straps. They should be in good condition, not frayed or worn, and the links and buckles should all be operational. So this should snap shut like that. Sometimes the springs in these clips fails, and if that happens, that won't operate properly, and the parachute can come off when you don't want it to, which would be bad news if you're on the way down to the ground. On the left-hand harness here, you can see the D-ring, the ripcord, and that is attached via this Bowden cable to the pins at the back. So this handle should be snugly placed in its strap so it's not hanging about. Again, if it's dangling around, it might get caught up on something, and then the parachute will potentially deploy when you don't actually want it to. Okay, so that's about it. Very simple check, and the parachute itself needs to be kept in a warm, dry place, and the parachute should be never allowed to get wet. If the parachute gets wet, it needs to be inspected by a parachute packer just to ensure that it's okay to continue using. And so in order to keep it dry, never put it on the ground, never use it as a weight to hold a wing down or something like that. Those are completely inappropriate things. The best thing to do with a parachute is ensure that once you get out of the aircraft, put it on the seat and then close the canopy. And even if it rains, it's protecting the parachute, stopping it getting wet. If you don't do that, then put it somewhere in the dry so that you're not walking around with the parachute on in the rain. Okay, that's all for now. See you later.